Welcome back, design students. In this video, I'm going to break down the other animal characters and show you basically how they were made and what techniques were used to make them so that you can maybe use some of those techniques when you make your own. So you've already watched me make the penguin, and probably I hope you've made the penguin yourself so you know how to do those things. For the fish, what I did was I gathered a bunch of swatches using this sort of reference picture I had with all these colors I liked. And then I decided to use this one. This is basically just an ellipse here, and I put another path point in it to pull in the mouth. Remember how you can click on with the sub-select tool, you can click and add a path like so to any point. The fin, I drew a shape with the pen tool, and then I pulled this up and shaped it using the sub-select tool. The tail was interesting. The tail is basically two ellipses, and the tail I did like this. I made an ellipse. Sorry. And then I copied it. And maybe I moved it up a little bit like that. And then you just subtract it. Select both of them and use subtract. And there's your tail. To make the sort of highlights here, I just used, I made one blue. And then I Control-C, Control-V, copied it. And then I shifted the back one out some. And made it white. Ended up with something like that. This fin actually has two strokes on it, or two borders. You can see one's white and one's black, and if you want to make them overlap like this, you need to select the settings so that you can change the position of them. Play around with it, you'll get the right look. This is three fins, just one's this color, one's yellow, one's blue, and I just moved them out a little bit so it looks like a highlight. And then I edited the shapes so they overlap back here. This is a compound shape. I just created this shape with the pen tool for the blue, and then I just made a clip with it. And you've seen me make a clip before in other videos. The background elements are just shapes. These are just things I created using the pen tool and other methods. These fish in the background are actually symbols that I found in the library. I just searched fish. And it will work a little bit, and then you will have different types of fish, and you can just grab one and pull it out. See, there's that guy. And drop it. To change the color of your fish, if you use these black and white stamps, you need to change this to a color. And then you can come in and add a color adjust to it. And you'll be able to change the colors of them like so by just dragging the hue. Since these are supposed to be in the background, I also made them, I added a blur to them as well. Like so. Then I just copied them and resized them. One interesting effect I did here to make it look like it was underwater, these sort of sun rays that you see. The background sort of varies in color. This is supposed to be the sun shining through the water. Here I put a rectangle over everything. I'm going to unlock it so you can see what I did. This is a rectangle and it's over everything, and what I did was I put a very tight gradient on it in black and white with just a bunch of different flags and control points there. And I angled it. And then I changed its blending mode to luminosity. And I played around with the opacity. See? So that's how I made that effect. The owl was very, very simple. He's just shapes, and they're just overlapping just like we did the penguin. Big eyes. This is just a shape I made with the pen tool. these ears are just triangles that are behind this shape so that it looks like ears, and they sort of overlap this eye shape. And the eye shape is just, just overlap them to make them look like that. Wings, you saw me make wings. The body is just a big wing. It's the same kind of thing. The toes are really easy with the talons, just like we did with the penguin, and I just made a little branch here and a shape for the tail. And a purple to dark purple gradient for the background to make it look like night. And you can see that I gathered a whole bunch of different owl pictures to give me some inspiration. I think I relied on this one mostly. The fox was a little more complicated. I gathered some images, made a swatch collection. This is for the background colors. Here's a real fox, so that's where I got my colors from. So what I did here was I relied really heavily on that face right here. And I kind of made the face, and I made the eyes just like we did with the penguin. And then I made the feet and the legs, and the body is just an ellipse, and so are the legs. And the tail sort of covers up the legs because the feet actually don't look very good, frankly. And this little fur collar thing is just a shape I made with the pen tool to cover up where the legs meet the body. If I hide it, you can see. That's why it's there. This foreground element here is just something I downloaded from the internet, all this grass. I just Googled free vector grass. And these trees I got from the library. And the sky, of course, is a background gradient that I sample colors from with this picture. So that's how I did the other animals, and I hope you'd enjoyed this video series, and I look forward to seeing your creative animal characters. And I'll see you in the next project.